All right guys, so I'm down at the store late today in order to take a look at this Adventure 2 e-bike. We were really busy, I couldn't get a chance to get some footage shot for this, so I waited till after we were closed. But this is the e-bike everybody's been asking about. This is the one people are most curious about. What distinguishes this e-bike from the original Adventure e-bike is basically this one has the torque sensor technology. Almost all rear hub motors up to this point have been cadence sensor pedal sensors, which means as long as you are pedaling, the e-bike is going to accelerate depending on the pedal assist level you have it in. So it doesn't really require you to necessarily work hard. You can pedal as hard as you want, but you aren't required to. Now with this torque sensor, it is going to actually sense the amount of pressure you're putting on the pedals, in other words, how hard you are pedaling, and then it is going to amplify your efforts with the pedal assist. So you're basically going to be required to do some work on these, but for people who are looking for more of a traditional bike, something you can get on and really pedal, but then have your efforts amplified to be able to go faster and further than you would on a traditional bike, this is going to be a great bike. This is brand new technology. Up until just recently, you could really only get torque sensor and a mid-drive motors, which are much more expensive. Generally, you're talking $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 and up. So to bring that technology of the torque sensor to a rear hub motor like Aventon has done, that is actually fantastic. And like I said, it is one of the new things that is really kind of bridging the gap between mid-drive motors, which were traditionally much more expensive, and rear hub motors, which are much more affordable. So with that being said, the other specs on this are very similar to the original Adventure e-bike. It is a 750 watt motor. You also have a 15 amp hour battery. It's the internal battery that clicks in and out of the frame itself. You also have the front shocks and rear and front hydraulic disc brakes. 26-inch by 4-inch fat tires, beefy, tons of tread on these bad boys. And you also have that beautiful LCD screen that Aventon is known for. There you go. Then you are going to have 4 levels of pedal assist. It's off like it is now, economy mode, tour, sport, and then turbo. And of course you also have your battery charge and odometer right there. So give you guys a little bit of a close-up look. Really slick. I do like this gray color. So the last bike we had of the Adventure 2 was actually the green model, but I do have some riding footage of the green Adventure 2 that we took out last week, so it'll give you a chance to see it in both the gray and the green versions. And then with like all Aventon bikes, you can get it into different frame sizes, and you can also get a step through and a step over version in this. Well, why don't we go ahead and check out the riding footage of that green Adventure 2, and then we'll come back and I'll tell you guys my thoughts and how I felt the torque sensor was versus the regular cadence sensor. So check it out, guys. So as always guys, just a ton of fun to be out riding an e-bike on a beautiful day. I got some riding on this, my buddy Chris got some riding on this. We both really did like it, just like the original Adventure, a very nice, smooth ride, tons of power in that 750 watt motor. The acceleration's great, it climbs hills great. Now, one thing I will say I noticed about the torque sensor, it is gonna force you to work a little bit harder. Now, with the cadence sensor, you can almost be doing a fake pedal, where as long as the pedals are moving around, you don't really even have to be actively engaged in doing work, and the bike is gonna be zipping up to that 20, or in this case, 28 mile an hour speed limit. But with the torque sensor, you really are having to do some work. I found myself really kind of giving it everything I had in order to get up to that speed limit. But for those of you who are traditional cyclists, I think this is really going to be that bridge that's going to be in those bikers, you know, the ones with the spandex and the teardrop shaped helmets, the people who said I would never get an e-bike, you know. My buddy Chris is one of those people who I converted in the last year. But with this e-bike with torque sensor, I really feel like is going to appeal to the traditionalist bicyclists, people who really want to work for, you know, the ride that they're going on. If that's not you, if you're somebody who would rather be able to cruise, I mean, this does have a throttle as well, but the original Adventure is going to allow you to get up to those higher speeds a little bit easier, a little bit less work. One of the advantages with the torque sensor, although you are doing a little bit more work to get up to the speed, you are also going to get a longer distance out of this. You know, if you're working harder, then the motor's working less, so kind of balances out. But this does claim to have a 60-mile range. Now, I'm assuming that's in the lower level pedal assist. So if you're in the higher levels, you know, depending on weight, hills that you're climbing, headwinds, those are all going to be factors. But a very good range on this e-bike. So like I said, for something that runs still under $2,000, this is a fantastic e-bike. The first one I've ever tried with that torque sensor, I was impressed with it. And I gotta say, it does feel a little more natural, a little bit more intuitive. The more work you're doing, the faster you're going. So if you were interested in getting this Adventure 2 e-bike, I believe there's a link that's going to appear right up here somewhere in your screen. You can click that link, it'll take you right over to where you can get one. So whether it's the Adventure or the Adventure 2 e-bike, both fantastic e-bikes, both a ton of fun to ride. And it really just comes down to personal preference whether you'd rather have the torque sensor or cadence sensor in your e-bike. I do have to say, another great e-bike. Aventon hit it out of the park once again with this brand new Adventure 2. So good job, guys. Keep the models coming. I do have the Saltera, which you can kind of see a little bit behind us right here. I also have a Pace 500 that we're going to be getting videos up for in the next week sometime. So if you haven't done so already, please do make sure you subscribe to this channel. Ring that little bell so you get all the notifications. If you're so inclined, please do leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear your guys' e-bike riding experiences. If you own an Adventure or an Adventure 2, I would love to hear from you as well. And as always, please give us that thumbs up. They are greatly appreciated, and they do help with the algorithms for this video so they get a little bit more reach and how many people get a chance to see them. But other than that, you guys just have a great rest of your e-biking day, and I will catch you right back here with a brand new e-bike to take a look at next time.